On today's episode, we talk with Mark Kraus and Jacob Spitzer, two talented musicians mastering production and sound engineering. They've gone on to work with top artists like Omar while also crafting their own sound. Now with their new album, they're creating beautiful boundary-pushing music that reflects their evolution as artists. Thank you so much for coming onto the show today.
Hi, Norman.
Thanks for having us.
I know we were goofing off before we started rolling, so we'll just start goofing off again.
No, we're serious now.
No, we're serious now.
Gladly.
So, tell me, you guys are, you work in music, but tell me what got you started and, wanting to be in this business.
You want to go first?
Sure. I started young playing the piano. I was like 5 and all my siblings played it. So I kind of always had the classical background of and just like in piano. So I kind of knew that I wanted to end up in the music industry. One time I went to a studio and I saw an engineer and a producer working together. And I was like, this is like the best job ever. And I was probably 11 at the time. And I was like, this is it.
You were really young.
I just got to see it in like perfect form and being like, wow, this is just like, I just got to like learn all the possibilities. I saw this crazy patch bay. I was like, if I just like understand that, then like, I think we could do this. So
yeah.
I wanted to go to school for music too and do the educational route. So I did like classical piano for 2 years at Cal Poly. Then I wanted to graduate with like a modern music degree because I didn't want to be a classical pianist because I can't sit at the piano for like 8 hours a day. I just can't.
Yes.
And then so I went to Berklee School of Music, did the engineering there, and then COVID hit and found a job out in LA at Henson Recording Studio, which is where I met Jacob. And we kind of just have been working together since then, like slowly but naturally. And,
wow.
And we moved in together, so that was kind of our origin story.
That's amazing.
For music. And how about you?
Yeah, so I was like a big, obsessive listener of music, like my whole childhood, but not a particularly like serious musician. And then when I was like end of high school, in college, for psychology, started like making beats and making music a lot on my computer and just really loved it, and got to like the end of college and realized that anything you want to do is like pretty hard. Like if I wanted to keep doing psychology, it was like the PhD route and it's super competitive and I liked it, but I didn't like love it. So I was like, I might as well do the thing that's really hard that I really want to do, and just like, keep making beats in my room and work at a restaurant and like see what happens. Yeah, so I did that for a long time and was kind of just like cold emailing studios just to try and meet anybody like in the business, and eventually got an internship at a recording studio in Toronto, and then they kind of like taught me how to engineer and use all the studio equipment and everything, and then years and years later, moved to LA, emailed all the studios again, and got a job at Henson.
He trained me when I got there. He was
wow.
I started like 2 months before.
I love to hear a story where like two people that like are friends, or they become like kind of like that Leonardo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire kind of thing, where like you guys are building each other up. I feel like we need more of that.
Yeah, it's actually so rare in the music industry to have like a duo of producers who stick together for everything. There's a couple that I know, but like it's pretty rare in general. But we also fill out each other's like areas of weakness. Like I play keys, he plays drums, guitar,
right?
And then we can fill out a whole band with just the two of us. So we kind of cover each other's like with our strengths.
Yeah. And I also feel like we were friends for a long time, just working at the studio and living together before we started working on music together. And obviously we were like both musicians. I just feel like that helped so much. You can like play something and then be like, no, I don't like that. And it like doesn't, it's fine. Like
exactly. You're basically family at this point. Someone like can say anything,
And it's kind of like the more people you have in a room, and then like you just everybody trusts your intuition, and you just end up going the right way because of that. So much easier with other people. I feel like music is made, like it's meant to be made with multiple people, and having that all the time is so valuable, because that's like the origin of music. It's for, you know, groups of people to make it together.
It's to be shared.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys ever feel like there's a fine line though between like criticism and like, you know, like being too harsh, like at times? Like, do you ever find like you have to like find like a balance, like be kind of sensitive to people or to like,
Yeah, you always have to be sensitive. It's like, I feel like it's very, making music is vulnerable.
If something doesn't work for somebody, we can work towards a way that makes it work for everybody, and that's like that's the thing that makes it better.
You want to find, if you can find something that everybody in the room is like, this rocks and this works for me, then it's like probably like pretty good. But if somebody in the room is like, it's just not hitting for them, then it's like, yeah, maybe there's a way we can do the same idea but make it better in a way where it, you know, it works for me and you and everybody.
Yeah.
Grammys weekend just happened. I'm sure you guys were at a lot of events. Tell us, like, how was your Grammys weekend? I'm sure it was very busy.
I was chilling.
It was fun. It was fun, you know, just to see everything. We didn't really like we're active that much with like parties or anything like that, but we have a couple artists that we work with who got to go with some of the songs that we made, which was like to some events, which was really cool to you know, experience that like vicariously, I guess.
If you can share, like, who are some of the artists you've worked with? Dasha has told me, our mutual friend who you went to school with, has told me about all the wonderful work that you've done. So tell us, for this show, like, tell us who you've been producing for and who you've been working with that you're able to share.
So it's like both of us, when we were assistants at Henson, worked with like a ton of like major artists, you know, assisting on their projects as they like come into the studio. So like that list is really long. And then there's the people who we've been able to work with like since then, either through people we met there and like relationships we've maintained, or, you know, people we've known just outside of the studio. So the biggest or like the coolest stuff I've gotten to do was I got to engineer on GNX, which was sick. Obviously, it's rap album of the year, and it was amazing. And I just worked on one song, but it was super cool. I'm working with a bunch of independent artists. We're producing for Dasha, our friend Leah, our friend Holland, who's amazing. I'm working with Kels, who's a singer from Pittsburgh, engineering for Sophie Marks, which is cool.
It's amazing.
I've been working for Omar Apollo on God Said No's last album, and that's been kind of main. I've been starting to go out to New York to work out a little bit there, and I've been loving New York. It's such a special place. Yeah, a little cold for the winter for me, but
way too cold.
trying to you know, end up to visit more often. You know.
Yeah. Do you feel like New York and LA? I feel like they're very different cities. Do you feel most comfortable in LA or New York? Like, which one do you feel like is most?
LA is home for sure.
Okay.
Definitely always will be. Got my family out here and stuff. But I just love there's just different culture out in New York. People like want to meet up, and it's a little easier. Transportation is a little easier to get around. Just stuff like that kind of makes a big difference, I feel like. So it's been fun to have sessions out there too.
That's amazing. With you and Omar, because Omar is like, I mean, he's been popping up like so like quickly. Honestly, it's been amazing. Like, I mean, congrats to him. And a lot of his songs are about vulnerability and everything, and just talking about his identity, you know, like race, sexuality, everything, especially what's going on now in this country, which is crazy. How did you and Omar get acquainted with each other, and what was it like just, you know, being able to go travel and, you know, work with him in the Midwest, I believe, too, right?
Yeah. But we've been working out there. It's been amazing. It's been incredible. I met him at the studio Henson. We had like a month-long session, and I had listened to his music before that, and I'd known him. I had shared it with my friend who was working at Henson at the time, and I got him and my friend Ben to be able to assist with us, which was like super special. And I would make cookies for Omar like every day. I was like you're getting cookies every day, like, you know, it's just like that. So I think we just kind of had a little bond, and sometimes he would come early, and I would like get to record him early in the morning because he shows up to work, you know, and I really appreciate that. So it's been like the pleasure of a lifetime to be like on the team for this time, you know. So and he's like the voice of a generation. You know, it's amazing to work with him. Yeah. So
that's a blessing. I mean, it's so awesome that you've been able to do that, both of you, to be able to just like work with a great high clientele. Do you ever feel nervous if you're
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes if sometimes the session is like, at a standstill and you got to fix something and there's like X all the way, or like A all the way to X with all these problems you got to solve and it has to happen, but they things need to happen and the session needs to roll and like there's no other way. So you have to, I'd be sweating in those, but like luckily our background, like we kind of are able to like figure it out. We don't have to like, freak out about anything too much. So,
And I feel like we both are at the point where like there's a lot of stuff that we understand from like as far as engineering from like the ground up. Like we could put together anything in the studio, kind of like solve any problem to do. But it's still, it's just still.
Has a problem ever come up where like you have to think fast?
Oh yeah, there's crazy problem. Like one time, like sometimes at studios, like if you plugging in the patch cables and like sound just kind of stops running and you're like, like it's not like any piece of gear to like stop. I'm just gonna like push the patch cables in harder, and then it's like, okay, like that worked, and then you just keep going, just like little tiny things like that.
Yeah.
Every day you learn a trick and you just put it in your backpack and you take it out maybe one day if you need it. But that's kind of like my entire education too. Is just like here's a trick. Like,
No, totally.
Use it and like same. If you're just like scrolling on Instagram, you see a trick, you're like, oh, that's cool. Like, save that for later.
Yeah, he's got to get rough with your hands sometimes, I guess, right? Like I was just talking about like how I was in school in France and my French teacher was talking about the camera and he's like, you have to be better with the camera. Like don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. I was scared to handle it. No, like I was like, what if I break it? Buy another one. As a 19, 18-year-old, that like it was crazy to me. And I was like, I think his point was like just to go in and just not be afraid of it, and like mistakes happen, but there's always a solution, and you'll always figure something out. I mean, we figured something out with the sound. Microphones go out. I'm sure you guys know that.
Totally.
And at the end of the day, it's kind of just like trust your gut because you know what's right.
Yes.
Right. If something sounds off, probably is. Don't overthink it.
I feel like I've learned like over time, like with audio, the problem almost always is like there's audio not there where there should be. Or maybe there's audio is there where there shouldn't be.
Yes.
But I feel like my instinct and a lot of people's instinct is to just be like, it's broken. Like it's not like something's, like something unfathomable to me is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And when you know more, you're like, okay, like there's a series of things. One of them is incorrect. And I just have to find the one that's incorrect and fix it. And not be like, the whole thing doesn't work, so we just can't do this. Because that's definitely, I have that instinct and then I'm like, no, that's cool.
Jacob, you make it sound so simple. You make it sound so simple. If only my brain didn't go think the worst thing and I'm in the editing room, But yeah, that's true. It's just one thing. Everything else is fine. It's just one thing he's got to, one little obstacle that we got to jump over. As artists, because I'm editing videos, you guys are obviously in the studio listening to music all the time. I think do you think like our ears are attuned to things that the public usually is not really attuned to?
Yeah, I feel like definitely, but I love to try to get that simple perspective of like, what does everybody feel? What's like, so I love like asking people who maybe don't listen to a lot of music, but you can ask anybody and they can be something and tell you which one's better.
Their like emotional reaction is equally attuned.
Exactly.
It's just like what technically is happening or what instrument is doing what. That's you can pick it out better if you know better. But this is like adjacent to that, but just like something about session culture that I find really interesting, which is like when somebody has done like 10 takes of a vocal or something, you're listening back, you'll just hit one and everybody will be like, oh, that's the one. You can't always put your finger on why that is the one that works, but it's like generally everybody agrees, like it's pretty clear. And it's like we all share this kind of sense of what's working emotionally.
Right. Do you feel like you guys are ever hard on yourself? I feel like all artists are like that. Like I'm like that. Like I'm such a perfectionist.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like, but I'm a perfectionist to the point where it's like, I'm hindering my own like excellence because like I'm taking so long trying to correct everything. Do you ever feel like you get into that rabbit hole, or like you've learned how to like, like be like, no, let me park it and then come back to that later?
I'm definitely hard on myself in general, but I feel like one of the positives of working together is we have these like set hours of work at like 5 p.m. basically, 5, 6. We're done, and we don't do anything like late at the night, and we when our ears are fatigued or anything, and that honestly helps a lot. Just like kind of working during like normal hours is like a big cool thing.
Yeah.
But as far as like like musicality, wanting to practice more, stuff like that, it's so easy to be hard on yourself, and I catch myself doing it all the time. But it's important for me to have different avenues of like places where I want to get better, like. And it doesn't have to be music. It could just be things in life, like kind of just like taking a time off of this, working on this a little bit, then that kind of brings me back to be fresh for the next thing. Like I've been getting the classical piano again, kind of just trying to learn a piece here and there, and it's like really helping me in other areas. Like I feel like we have like the best week of sessions this week.
Yeah, it was really good.
And so I just feel like restored in that area. Now I'm like less hard in the other areas.
I feel like I'll be very hard on myself or ambitious about like my goals for the art. Like, anytime we like finish a song, even that like we love the song, I'm like, okay, like I feel like it could have been better if we had taken these different steps. Maybe, you follow the path you follow and you like see it through to the end. And I'm always like, okay, what could we like focus on in the process to arrive at an even bigger place,
right?
But I'm not sitting there all year long redoing the details. I don't think that that's creatively productive. It's like a process where you do something, you start again, and every time you start again, you do it with like a little more knowledge. And
I want to go back and start taking piano lessons again.
Cool.
That's talking with you guys because when I was a child, I think I was forced to play piano. And I was like, my parents were like, you have to do this. And then like have these teachers that were like, no, you can't do this. And you can't play by ear. You have to read the notes.
You can't look at your hands. You can cover your hands.
Yeah. So like for someone like myself, that's like, was kind of like brought up around a lot of music, but then now is like, I don't know, like I have some, music lesson traumas. So, like, would you recommend, like, for someone to go back into playing piano at, like, even 20-something years old or even 30? Like, is it possible?
Definitely.
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely. You got to try. You just got to put your hands on the keyboard. Literally, that's it. That's, like, step one.
So all kids should play piano?
I mean, I think it's like the best instrument to start on just because of, like, the harmony that's available to you, and, like, you don't have to, like, press a guitar note and pluck it. That takes like more, it hurts your fingers.
Yes.
Like, it's easier to just produce one note and like start it from there.
Oh my gosh, well thank you guys so much for coming onto the show today and talking about your expertise. And
thanks for having us.
Yeah, please tell us where we can find you on social media and like, all over the web, so that way we can know about more of your work and to hear more of the music that you're producing and more of the projects that are coming up.
Yeah, our production duo and artist project is called micro.wav.
Micro.wav.
So
on Instagram, 000 little o, and it'll come up. Micro.wav.
Micro.wav.
It's the only one with a bunch of O's before it. You really can't miss it.
I'm Marky Kraus, Kraus.
I'm Jacob Spitz, JACOBS.PITS.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
us.
us.
It's been a pleasure.
It really has.
Thank you.